Yes, come in. Jay, you got a minute? Yeah? Were you ever gonna listening to the comments section? Hello? When Smith EDC says that they really dig your video and that they think that you may have what it takes to be a big content creator? What about when they said that maybe in the future you should include some stuff and you asked them to do that and then you're not making a video on it? So what's the play here? Where you include a table or something and you can go ahead and talk about the bag while you're going through it? Yeah, just a thought. All right, hopefully you do it. You know what? Jay, you're right. I think we should be making content that brings more value to the viewer. So, I hear ya. Let's do it.
This is JJ Actual. We are Oscar Mike.
You ever go through a phase where you're constantly switching bags? Too small, too bulky, too tactical, not tactical enough. Well, I've been there. I wanted something that didn't scream operator, but still gave me options. Something that could handle everyday life, but still could be ready if things went sideways. That's how I landed on this, the Vertx Gamut. It's been with me for daily runs, travel, quick missions, you name it. And today, I'm gonna walk you through why I stuck with it and why it might just be the bag for you too. Welcome to JJ Actual, a place where I talk about things like gear, insight, reviews, and all that fun stuff. But real quick, a quick thank you to Tradesmith EDC for taking the time to comment on my Urban Ghost backpack video. I'll use this suggestion by taking you to the workbench where I discuss the bag in this video. Let's get into it.
Okay, welcome to the workbench. First off, the look of the bag. The bag is low vis, low key, no big logos, no molly on the exterior of the bag. If you don't know what molly is, I'll explain a little bit later when we dive into different compartments. It blends in whether you're downtown, at the airport, or on a day hike. So it's important to note that this backpack is the newest iteration of the Gamut. There are some subtle changes that I can go into, but this bag colored is called heathered gray. I like the gray color because it kind of blends into pretty much any environment and goes with pretty much my wardrobe, which mostly is gray and black. All right, so we have this top carrying handle here, okay? And that is nice for just grabbing the bag. But another thing that Vertx bags have is this other type carry grab handle type deal. So if you have it, you know, say on a bench like this and you want to grab it, you can just pick it up and grab it. And that's very convenient. That's also kind of a mini rain fly for this front exterior pocket here. There's also a side bottle pocket here. On the the earlier versions of the Gamut backpack, there was actually 2 bottle pockets on each side. And these bottle pockets are nice because when not in use, they're zippered up. And then when you want to use them, you can unzip them, like so. There's a rapid access compartment in the rear of the pack. And that's, say, if you wanted to carry CCW or carry something concealed. There's a rapid access tab, and I'll demonstrate later what that looks like. But yeah, it wears light, and there's nice clean lines on the bag. If we move around to the rear of the pack, this is one of my favorite features. Let's see, hopefully that shows up on the camera. But it has like this, I'll go ahead and try to make some B-roll footage here. But it has, go ahead and do this here. Nice kind of diamond design here. And this diamond design is nice because it's padded and it gives the bag some structure while it's on your back. It also allows for good clean airflow. So that way your back's not all super sweaty. And I know it's probably not the biggest issue for a lot of people, but for me, when I carried gear in the Marines, if it wasn't able to breathe, I would get something called prickly heat or some kind of, some form of rash, because my back or whatever area was covered with gear couldn't really breathe. So you also have this pass-through here, they call it a pass-through, and you could, it's designed if you had a plate in here to kind of carry it like Captain America shield. So that way it can, cover your body. And I'm not a small guy. I'm pretty wide, and this covers pretty much the vitals. I mean, pretty much sounds like it's not a lot, but for a man of my size, that's a decent amount. All right. In the front, you have this small kind of admin pocket. And this pocket is nice to just throw in. I take that back. Correction, it's not admin. It's good to throw in, it's just a quick access pocket. All right, nothing huge, but as you can see, it's fairly spacious. All right, and in the front here, pull this open. This is how I currently have it loaded out. I'm currently going to school, so I have a lot of my miniature school supplies in here, highlighter markers, spare pencils. This is my eyeglass cleaner / screen cleaner. What I love about Vertx too is they're so modular, right? Like you can load this out how you want to load it out. And this is the MOLLE I was talking about. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera here. I'll bring it a little bit closer. But as you can see right here, this MOLLE here, this is a set pattern where you can get gear to weave in and out of. Okay, this is laser cut MOLLE. This is nice because it also has loop side as well. So if you have their Tactigami, as you can see here, you can just affix it there and you can just rip it off and switch it out to whatever you want to use. I have more Tactigami stuff in here, and I think that's one of the things that really sets, for me, Vertx apart is the modularity and customizability of these bags. So another cool feature about the front panel is you could actually open up the bottom here and say you're on a mission where you have to have the front panel exposed for whatever pouch or whatever you want attached to it. You could actually take this front panel and stuff it under, and there's loop to hold that down. And now you have basically either a slick front or access to whatever pouch you wanted to mount on there. I personally wouldn't do that with this hook and loop because it's not secure enough. If it was secured via MOLLE, no worries whatsoever. Another cool option and another feature I personally look for in bags is something called beaver tail. All right, at least that's what I call it, is a beaver tail. Maybe I'm wrong, but essentially what that does is it allows you to carry gear that's kind of would otherwise take up a lot of space. Say a helmet, either ballistic helmet, bike helmet, jacket, heck, even a tent. You can run it, sideways. But essentially what you have here, you have these straps and they connect on the side hooks here. And they have these G hooks that make it really easy to hook in. Now, G hooks for this particular kind, they're not locking without a gate that can lock. That also allows it to be able to come off easily. So you got rapid attachment, but also rapid detachment. So it's a blessing and a curse. But what's nice about this is, say you have this loaded out with something, that's gonna take up huge amounts of space in your main pack, and you don't wanna do that. Now you can fit in, say a helmet. These can also extend. And so you can put in whatever you like there, cinch it down, pulls it up to the bag quite nice. Another thing to discuss is this bag doesn't have side retention in terms of like compressibility or compression straps on the side to bring the bag closer to you. That's something that probably could have added weight, but not much weight, and perhaps in further iterations of the Vertx bag, maybe Vertx, you guys could incorporate some compression straps on to be able to compress the bag. And another thing that I wish this bag had was load lifters. They make a nice job with the yoke here. And with me, with my wide shoulders, it's nice to fit across, but having load lifters would be a nice deal where you could raise it up so that way it's resting more higher on your back to distribute the weight across your shoulders instead of pushing down. But there is a caveat to that, which I'll put on and I'll show you later. All right, so let's zip this one back up, and there's a spot in here where these little G-hooks hook into and hold. Little tabs there. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. All right. So I usually run it partially closed, not closed all the way, so that way you could take this pull tab here and just pull it, rip it out, whatever you need. If you want to carry an IFAK or first aid, great place to put that. All right, walking to the main pocket here, full clamshell opening. All right, what clamshell means is it pretty much the bag opens all the way down, okay? And I, again, have more Vertx Gamut pouches here. This ones are small. They're padded small. I don't know if I can show, how am I gonna show you this here? We'll just flip this guy around. And that's just a small pouch that you can put, I don't know, whatever. I use it for electronics. There's another quick pull tab inside the pack too that's held down by a loop, which is nice. One thing I don't like about though is the stern eat away at the top part here. Now, how long would this take to eat this completely away? Who knows? But I still, something that I wish that they would have thought about. Maybe they did, but that Velcro attaches to this top Velcro here. And so if you have it fully, mostly closed, you can rip it open quickly. All right, going back inside. Directly below that, actually before I do that, you can see this whole area here on the top is hook and loop, okay? And so that's pretty nice. You can put whatever you want that will fit on there. Moving down, there's a small pocket that's kind of shallow. And if you overload it, it'll actually dig into this area here, which will push the bag out further. So all I have in there is pretty much like wet wipes, just to, keep it nice and thin. Below that again is another area where we can use hook and loop. And here I have one of their little stow pack pouches, which I have a protein bar and some mouthwash. You can also put electronics. I used to carry like a mouse in here, something like that. And then the main area here, this is the laptop sleeve that came with the bag. It normally has a strap, but that's in my Urban Ghost right now because I'm using that primarily for school, which I'll be planning on doing a long-term review and showing some of the quirks of the bag. But this whole area too is hook and loop. So you can literally basically outfit the bag however you like. All right. All right, you're just gonna sit down a little bit. All right. Hopefully this is showing you guys, or showing up on camera. All right, when you're facing the bag on the left side is the water bottle pocket, all right? And I have a couple water bottles here. This one's the Nalgene, all right? Will the Nalgene fit? I think it's important that every bag maker considers the fact that a Nalgene is gonna fit in there because that's a pretty common bottle in the United States is the Nalgene. Standard 32 ounce, boom, and it fits in there just perfectly. It's important to note too with the bag in there, with the bottle in there, it's kind of hard to zip it closed, so I just run it open. All right, this is my favorite water bottle. It's a Yeti. That's a picture of a monkey on there with the weights, or the pump cover, but that one fits in there perfect as well. It's nice. So, and what's cool is, let's see if I can bring this closer here. There's a little retention deal in there. So there you go. If if a bottle is too loose, you can just pull that down, and it cinches down like that. It's kind of hard to see, but that cinches down so you can see that cinches. There you go. And it's kind of cool because the tab is what keeps it locked down. So you can pull that open and it just automatically opens because of the mechanism. All right. As you can see, I have a blender bottle here. I'm big on drinking my proteins. So I have these, an S binder on this side and black plastic carabiner on this side. I usually just snap my blender bottle and just like that, hangs, fill with powder and then fill with water as you need to. All right, it's gonna sit back down. Ooh, almost fell down there. Blooper reel. All right. On the other opposite side of the pack, you have this area where it has basically a basic admin area, which has, a pocket that runs to the bottom here. And then, speaking of the bottom, I apologize, but the cool thing about the laptop sleeve is you can place it anywhere so it's not hitting the bottom. And why that's important is if you have tech in there, laptops are super expensive. Then when you set the bag down, it doesn't strike the ground or make impact with the ground. It allows it to stay basically naturally air cushioned in there. All right, so you have an admin pouch here, a couple other small pouches for pencils, chem sticks, Leathermans, whatever you like, and then a small zipper pouch, which I currently have just some flossers. And also too with this one is if there's too much stuff in the main pack or in these pockets, it will push this out. As you can see, like there's some marks. I don't know how well that's showing on camera. Maybe show a little closer here. Some marks where it's struck the wall or what have you. All right. So, welcome back. All right. So, family's back. All right. I'm gonna try to speed this video up here. All right. So, now the cool thing about CCW pocket, full zip open. So this side, you can actually put in underneath here. You can unzip, or undo the Velcro, and you can fit Premier partners with Vertx, but you can put any panel you want in here for ballistic armor, and that's the area where it typically is held and goes. This panel here, I have, again, this whole area, back panel is hook and loop. You can put in holsters for your handguns. You can put in their different bands and stuff like that. They're more tactigami for AR parts, and I want to say this might be, depending on your AR, this will probably fit a 11.5. I don't know if it'll fit a 16-inch AR for an upper. Obviously, you got to break it down, but what I currently have in here, because I go to school and I'm not carrying that kind of stuff to school, it's against the rules, is just a big, one of the large size padded organizer here, and I just have a folder with just some paper, just so I have extra stuff, extra supplies for class and what have you. All right. Now, say you did have this loaded out with some CCW stuff. All right, we're gonna close this back up, and family's home, so we're gonna rush this video a little bit. I do apologize for that. All right, so we're gonna throw the big water ball in here just to show you guys. All right, so we put the backpack on. Man, the straps on this bag are really, really nice. They have, as you can see, let's see here. As you can see, it has kind of like this air breathable mesh here, and it's very soft. And what I like about this bag is even when it's loaded out, it's loaded out with a lot of stuff, it still carries really, really light. Okay? So anyway, you have the backpack on, obviously on body carry is the most secure, but it's not always the most comfortable. So, I usually have this strap a little bit loose on the side that I'm gonna doff. And I just, you can pull through and you can swing the bag around the front. You find that rapid access handle and you come down with it, all right? Come down with it, gives you quick, easy access to whatever you want to put in there. Even with this big water bottle on the way. Okay. Going back to the exterior. I like that Vertx, they have basically excess, strap keepers that come with their bags. They also have, in a covered area here, they have quick detach buckles, and they're really high quality stuff, okay? I believe that these are, I can't remember the brand, but it's high quality buckles. They use YKK zippers all the way around. It's a really, really solid bag. This bag also has a waist strap, which is, I have tucked away inside the bottom panel here. There's a little spot where it opens up and you can tuck away your little waist strap. All right, let's see here. Flex, yeah, I think they call it like flex buckles. This stuff, these are great plastics that will last a long time. But there's the waist strap there. As you can see, it's keepers on there and retention down below, and it's an awesome thing. It's nice because when you're wearing the bag, you can't really feel the straps due to the padded nature of the back. And oh yeah, I completely forgot what I talked about, where it sits a little bit low on your back, but as you can see, it's flat, but there's a little bit of a curve here, and that's nice because when you have the bag on, see the side profile, you can see that it sits a little bit low and it just kind of presses on the curvature of my back there, and it fits me great. Now, your mileage may vary, but it personally fits me pretty good. Okay. Currently, my daughter's making faces at me, trying to make me laugh, and it's gonna work. All right. Just kind of broke my train of thought here. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but like I said, the family's home, and we're going to. I was thinking about it. I turned the camera off, and I forgot to include one of my biggest gripes of the bag, as well as another feature, sternum straps. Bag has sternum straps, very nice to help distribute the weight or keep, move the weight around a little bit, help secure the weight, what have you. But they're secured inside here, and you can move the sternum straps up and down, okay? All right, now the biggest gripe of this bag, Vertx, if you're listening, maybe when you create the next bag, you will allow the bag to self-stand. As you can see, I have the bag even tilted back a little bit, and it just falls forward. So the bag is sad when it's by itself. Maybe Vertx, you guys did that for a reason, because with with the person who's carrying it, it makes you happy. Just kidding. All right, for real though, family's home. We're gonna wrap this video up. We're gonna take you back to the table or desk and close her out.
That's why I love the Vertx Gamut. Solid bag, no nonsense. Easy to customize for your own setup. Let me know in the comments below what is your favorite backpack and why. If you found this video helpful and you feel I've earned it, give this video a like, as this really helps the channel. And if you like the vibe, consider subscribing for more content. Until next time, JJ Actual, out.